So can you touch on just explaining more about the inattentive stuff? Like, and I'm just drawing on like, so with autism, sometimes you're kind of ignoring the world around you and you're focused on your own thing, or is it
Mhm.
more like you're can't focus on one thing for very long, or you focus on stuff that really interests you, but not the boring stuff, or can you just explain that?
Combination of all that.
Sure.
Um, so a big one, because like you were asking me, how does it impact like my relationships and stuff like that? My friend, my best friend, because I'm comfortable with her and I don't feel like I have to physically because when I'm talking right now, I'm really making sure I'm focusing and being attentive with you because I want to give you like the best conversation I possibly can in this. But when I'm comfortable with her and we're just talking about day-to-day stuff, I will zone out and she'll be talking to me and then she'll have to tell me to come back in. She'll be like, "Hi, still here." But it's not like I stopped thinking. I had a train of thought and I followed that train of thought away from the conversation. Um, and then sometimes it is like a lack of interest type deal where it's just like, okay, we're ready. Are we done here? And then it's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Um, and we were talking in class about like you and I both have a thing where it's like if there's multiple conversations going on, it takes a ton of mental effort to be very focused on
Right there. Yep.
supposed to
Yes.
be talking. Also, I mean, I talk with my hands a lot, but this is just a little rock that I kind of fidget with, or sometimes other podcasts you'll see in my hands, I'm fidgeting with something.
Right.
And then I also have a little notepad I use to write down questions. And that's from like when I was at a newspaper. I try to keep my focus on the person, but then I am kind of writing without looking not, so I can remember the questions as I come up with them, but then still be present in the conversation and keep that flow. So,
No, I feel that like if I am ever presenting and I have like a train of thought and I don't have like some type of visual in front of me, a lot of times I'm not going to remember everything I wanted to say. Like, so I get that.
yeah.
There's
Um,
also, yeah, it's very true with like when other people are talking or noises are going around. I have to be for like our online test, I have to be in a different room. Everything's got to be quiet and closed. My son likes to come in every once in a while and check in, and I know we have like, buddy, you got to go. I'm not going to be able to focus. I love you, but you need to leave right now.
yeah. So is ADHD something you strongly identify with, or is it kind of just, oh yeah, that's a part of who I am and it's kind of in the background?
I would say nothing as a characteristic as a whole person. Everybody's got like for my class that I have right now, we're talking about breaking stereotypes and viewing people as a whole. And so ADHD is a part of me, but it is not my entire story. If that
Mhm.
makes sense. There is more to me than just ADHD. Does it take a lot of does it take a big space up in my life? Yes. It can be very permanent at sometimes, but
I like what you said with like, just, it's not your whole story and I don't know if it's a social media thing or what, but it seems like people make one facet their whole identity.
right.
And it's like, and that happens with like, I'm in the fitness guy world and that's all they talk about. And it's like, okay, what else? Or
Like
I
who
mean,
are you, right?
I like video games and some people get super into like one game. And it's like, I'm more like, I'll play the game and then I want to play the next game. And because
Mhm.
I like the story aspect, but that's a whole other rabbit hole I can easily get sucked in. So anyway,
Mhm.
like for autism, like I was diagnosed when I was in fourth grade, so like 10-ish, uh,
Mhm.
but it wasn't really a big thing I kind of identified with. And it was just like once in a while I'd see like if it's a news story or something, it's like, oh yeah, cool. And I'd have that connection that way. But and this story is in my documentary, like it didn't really become a thing for me until late high school. And then I did my documentary and then um, every once in a while, well, it's annual, so that's how once in a while. But anyway, there's like autism conferences, and one was actually a couple of weeks ago for the Autism Society of Minnesota, and I go to those. But for
That's
the
cool.
most part, I mean, like the podcast, I've done some mental health and autism related ones, but it's not a large consuming part of my life. So anyway,
Right. It's not the dictating factor in your life. It is a factor, but it's not the only
yeah.
factor.
Yeah, and it's more just in workplaces. Sometimes there's challenges, like I work in journalism, and there was a police scanner, like literally like 3 feet from my desk, which is not fun for someone with sensory sensitivity.
No, not at all. That would make me nervous or distracted with all the noise going on anyways.
Yeah, so anyway, that's another story for another time.